Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Ted, and today I'm hanging out with
Dave.
And today we have a viewer suggestion from Ben, and he wants to know about defeating death.
If you guys have GM 911s or just a viewer suggestion, you can send them to us at nerdarchy@gmail.com.
So, Ben, he says that in a previous video, we talked about dead equals dead, and that there should be times when a PC dies, they should remain dead, move on, and whatever have you. But he also feels that there's times that you should be able to bring those characters back, either through just the generic spells or by going on grand quests and retrieving them from literal hell itself.
Okay, here's the thing. The video he's referring to is the one where I talk about, should the GM kill player characters? And yes, you should if that's what the situation warrants. Bad die rolls, bad luck, bad decisions. Tactics. All that stuff can all culminate into a PC death. Now, here's when we get into the interesting stuff, right? Depending on the style of game you're running and what kind of game you're playing, what does that mean? Do you want to actually, as a GM, offer ways for the character to come back? There are plenty of games where you can literally haul the body back to you with you to town, go to the temple, and get the character resurrected if you have the gold.
Right.
Generally, we haven't really played those games. Either that requires a higher level priest to do it.
Well, in third edition, in third edition, they lowered the bar again on bringing characters back, and fifth edition lowered it even further. So now, once you get a cleric to 5th level, they've got Revivify, and if they've got a 3rd level spell slot, a 300 gold piece diamond, and that spell prepared, they're bringing a character back to life. It costs 300 gold. In the diamond form, you have to have that diamond. You can't just pour gold on the dude. But you get to bring the characters back. Now, that's not a small requirement, but it's what it takes. Now, in the 2 years that we've been playing 5th edition, or a little over 2 years, we've only had one character actually die at the table.
We've had some close calls, but one died.
There's been a number of...
He's not been able to come back.
Right. Now...
Other than as his blood zombie, but...
Well, there's that. Well...
He didn't mesh well with the party at all, though.
At the time, you guys were like 2nd level, 3rd level, somewhere along those lines. And I straight up told you afterwards, I messed up on putting an acceptable encounter out there. And I didn't kill him out and out. I dropped him, and it died. He failed his death saving throws, and it was a matter of someone not having a healing kit, someone not being trained in medicine.
We learned a lot during that session.
and it came down to, okay, well...
He rolled a natural 1.
He rolled a natural 1, so there's only 2 rolls that dictated that death, and that's what it does come down to a lot of times when I hear these stories about character death. No one is dying from my max hit points is 40 and I went down to -40, so I just died. It's usually you got dropped and no one stabilized you, no one healed you, and you failed those consecutive rolls.
Yeah, it's really it's once you start getting up there in levels, it really becomes very hard to all out kill someone. Though it can happen. Also, there's other things like in 5th edition where if you get hit, that's considered a crit, which is 2 fouls.
Right.
So someone whacking on you when you're down, you will die fairly quickly.
Right. But it takes a certain type of monster or mindset
to do that.
To do that. I, as the DM, I feel that's vindictive is not the right word, but it's an a-hole move. Like, unless you're playing a monster that specifically is like, well, in my breakdown of this monster, they try to out and out kill things.
Generally things will deal with the present threat and danger. Right. So, all right. So there are ways to die. Now, like looking back over the years for Resurrection, in previous editions of the game, there was a price that could be coming back from the dead. You permanently lost a point of con. So, like, in essence, your con score was the number of times you can be brought back.
Right.
And
third edition, didn't you lose a level?
I don't remember if you there might have been a level loss. Like so the in previous editions there was definitely prices to pay for being brought back. In fourth and fifth edition they really kind of moved away from that.
Right.
They in some ways they did make it a little more video game-ish in the sense that like death is almost like a save point. That you can like reset as long as you have the gold or whatever.
Right.
And again, this has to deal a lot with the type of story you want to run. Now, I do like the idea of bringing characters back for story reasons if you can make it interesting and fun. Like I murdered your ranger cleric in second edition.
Well, that goes back to the whole question or the whole statement of a player character making a stupid decision. I had been bloodthirsty all night. Me as the player sitting at the table. I was itching for combat, and the way you described something led me like, all right, finally combat. And we get to the point, and I literally got booted by a giant into a tree. There was no coming back from it.
Yeah, and well, sort of,
Well.
except for I don't remember the specifics, but there was a druid who brought you back to his grave and brought your body back to his grave.
You got the party. The party took me back to the temple, grove, however you want to call it, by the person that I had done a lot of role playing with over the last several sessions, and showed that I was very reverent of the same deity and this and that, and he'd referred to me as the chosen one, not because of anything I had done, but his particular belief was that elves were chosen by
that
the deity.
Yeah.
And you allowed him to resurrect or reincarnate me without any kind of serious gold costs or what have you.
Yeah, there's just whatever the penalty was for being resurrected or whatever.
I took the hit to con.
And it led to some role playing stuff, and I decided that, like, all right, this would be an education for my players, and I kind of gave them one, right? Let them come back into the game and use as players. But there's definitely other games where resurrection is a normal thing, like we said, like, and also like you might be part of an adventuring company where one of the stipulations in your contract is if the body's retrievable and the funds are there, that you will be brought back to town to be resurrected. I've seen that as well. So there's tons of ways you can do it, or you could definitely do the thing where the players actually adventure to another plane to retrieve the soul and bring that person back. And one of the original person that asked this question and suggested this video said, well, how would you handle that? And would you just let them play, an NPC, one-off character, which you could do, or as we've done in games, is just let them play NPCs. In our one game, Scott's character went off to do something else. So in that session, he adventured with us playing a veteran, yeah. From the back of the monster manual and the NPCs, which is a new concept that we kind of introduced to to change things up and keep people playing the game instead of sitting there while watching the other players play.
Right.
So I guess to answer your question, how do you handle resurrection? It really just depends on the game the GM's running. This might even be something you guys want to talk about in session 0, as to what kind of game it is and like how permanent is death.
It's one of those things that yes, it can be talked about in session 0, and like it's gonna rely on the magic of the world itself. How much is the divine there? Because it really takes druids and clerics to bring people back. You're not doing it as a wizard. You're not doing it, easily with anywhere else. If
and a druid's just reincarnate,
right.
So you don't even know what you're coming back as.
Right. So if those things are not prevalent in the world, yes, religion is possible. But if you don't have a cleric at 5th level or higher, it's not a thing, And as a 5th level cleric, you need to be right there. You get a minute from the time that they're dead.
Yeah.
So There's no, oh, well, let me take a quick rest and I'll get things back. No.
Now, here's another thing, right? And this is kind of like an addendum to the whole idea of the topic of this video. Is what if you have a deity of the dead? You know, he doesn't have to be good. He doesn't have to be evil. He could be either. But he one of the things in his portfolio is one, undeath is an abomination. Two, resurrection, revivification, raise dead, reincarnate. They are an affront to him. You are stealing from him his due. You know, and perhaps he has paladins that go out looking to reclaim his own.
Oh.
That would make a great Oath of Vengeance paladin.
Oh, I want that in our world now.
Yeah, so just a thought to add to that. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe.
You can tweet at us at Nerdarchy.
So until next time,
stay nerdy.